Brought to you by Blackmagic Design, the world's highest quality products for the feature film, post and broadcast industries. blackmagicdesign.com.
The Old Man and the Parrot. Thankfully, this one's easy to categorize. It is a pure comedy from beginning to end. So you have this gentleman named Praxi, played by Ruben Rabasa. He's walking around Miami, specifically the Little Havana neighborhood, with a stuffed parrot. He goes to what looks like a very nice house and breaks in to the house with the parrot and an old-timey flintlock pistol like a pirate would use back in the 18th century. He's there to confront the owner of the house, a man named Radel, played by Serafin Falcon, because Radel put a curse on Praxi's partner, Yoelvis, played by René Lavan, trapping his soul in the parrot. And Praxi wants the curse lifted. The problem is that Radel has recently had a stroke and is nonverbal. He can only just grunt and moan, so it is left to his daughter Anna to potentially perform this Santeria-esque ritual to free Yoelvis' soul from a stuffed parrot. That's just the first 5 minutes. We flash back a few years, about 10, 15 years. Praxi's working as a salesman and a factory worker, and Yoelvis, a friend of his who had, smuggled himself in from Cuba as a refugee, gets fired from his job. So he's like, okay, well, you can come live with me while you get yourself back on your feet. And Yoelvis, his dream job basically is to open a restaurant for vegetarian Cuban cuisine, because that's just not a common thing. And it's mostly meat-based. So Yoelvis, not really, being a meat eater, he's a pure vegetarian and also not able to speak English, he has trouble selling his wares. He and Praxi just go closer and closer to the point where they eventually become a couple. But their next door neighbor at the time is Radel, who again is something of a mystic. I think he refers to himself as a spiritual energy alchemist, like not pure Santeria. And he performs these rituals and he talks about, ways to move the soul after the body dies and all this stuff. And it's a little bit kooky. Certainly not anything that I would subscribe to, but Praxi's open to it. It's like, hey, if you want to, give us a spell to help our business, I'll take all the help I can get, But Yoelvis is having none of it. He thinks that Radel is purely a con man, and because he keeps a pet chicken, he believes that Radel is going to sacrifice said chicken for his rituals, which just offends Yoelvis on so many levels as an animal rights activist and as a pragmatist and as a vegetarian. So a whole series of japes and follies and farces unfold to the point where Radel gets arrested, and due to Yoelvis's interference, basically, so he curses Yoelvis that your body's going to fail you and I'll trap you where you belong. And that's eventually into the parrot. I was like, the way the film's presented, again, this is a comedy. There's a little bit of romance in it. There's a lot of dark jokes. There's an incident with one of the chickens where, if you saw last year with Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Think of the hamster and then make it a chicken. You'll know exactly what happens. And it is just as shocking and hilarious when it happens. But there is this weird sense of humanity in all of it. Radel's religious beliefs, for lack of a better term, are quite odd, definitely non-mainstream. And what he's trying to do with his beliefs and faiths and maybe even powers is quite unnatural. But he also uses it as a way to bond with his daughter and help her through, some of the more difficult aspects of her life. When Anna's a young girl, she has a pet gerbil that's about to die. And so Radel teaches her how to do these soul transfer rituals, not because necessarily he thinks he's actually going to work, but it's like, this is how I'm going to help you ease this poor animal's pain, how I'm going to help you cope with its passing, and know that there's things that are greater than the mundane in this world. You know, there's it's weirdly touching, even though the scene ends with him tossing a dead gerbil over his shoulder like it's nothing. It's like there is something heartfelt in it, just like with Praxi and Yoelvis. Like this is very much like an opposites attract situation. Praxi is very extroverted. He's a great salesman. He used to be a stand-up in when he lived in Cuba. He wears a very obvious wig. I mean, when you see him in the present day, he's bald. He looks like an emaciated version of Hulk Hogan right before the end. This is a guy who definitely does not have a natural full head of hair, even in the flashbacks. Like, and they comment, I was like, this is a wig, right? It's like, oh no, totally not. It's real. He's like, it's a wig. I was like, it's like Beyonce sitting home going, girl, like that is a weave, and it's a weave. It's like it's like you're not fooling anybody. But again, that's part of the charming humor of it all. Like that's Proxy's character, whereas Joelvis, like he's an idealist. He has these dreams and ambitions, and he wants to, help the world eat healthier and kill fewer animals and, make the world a better place. But he's very rigid, and he's like, I want to do this on my terms. Like, I don't care about ever learning English. I know a few phrases, I understand the basic things, but he gets into a fight with one of his own customers. Guy comes to the stand, says, hey, let me get this burger you got here, and it's a black bean burger. There's a whole big banner right behind Yoelvis that says, Praxi and Yoelvis is vegetarian Cuban cuisine. And the guy takes one bite of the burger, is like, yo, what the hell? I ordered a burger. Where's the meat? It's like, idiot, it's right behind you. It's like, so yeah, like these are very different people, but they do find a common ground, a comfort, and eventually, a romantic love for each other that they really can't explore because just time makes fools of us all. It's it's one of those weird kind of bittersweet things, and you're couching that in, again, a present day where a bald man is carrying around a stuffed parrot and holding you at gunpoint saying, release my boyfriend. It's like it's again, that's one of the things I love about Slamdance. I mean, again, it's the cool alternative cousin to Sundance. It's like, this is where we're allowed to be weird. I mean, the premise is bug nuts crazy, and it's hilarious to watch it all unfold. And then you get deeper into the story, you get some genuine pathos wrung out of it, and just when things feel their darkest and heaviest, we get right back to bug nuts crazy, and end it about as perfectly as you can. I won't spoil it, but it's like, yeah, there's that lovely weirdo spirit of Slamdance that we love so much. Like, as like you brought it full circle. Like again, just like with Portal to Hell last year. Like, this is what I love about this festival. This is a perfectly Slamdance film. I don't know if it'll ever get distribution. I don't know if it'll end up on a streamer. I just know that you sit there, you're just gonna have a smile on your face for 90 minutes, and for all the right weird reasons. It's so delightfully strange, and that's just so much fun.
This is the BTRP Media Network.